Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Jackie, I know we weren't expecting to be all on camera.
I was like, oh, what the hell? We're all here.
You guys, welcome to the Fumble Live. We are breaking down the latest sports news for you with some updates about the Portland Trail Blazers and the Memphis Grizzlies, some comments from Bill Belichick that we're going to be getting into, plus Zion Williamson's plan for the future. We're getting into all of that in just a second. First, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. We really want to grow the Fumble fam, so make sure that you do that. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris.
It's your boy Chris, and you can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? It's Jackie Ray. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic.
So we are down one member of the Fumble squad today. Britt is out, but she'll be back, I think, next week. I'm not sure what day next week, but she will be back. So don't worry, we'll get a Britt's Takes next week. But in the meantime, you've got us. You've got Chris, Jackie, and me. We are here. So do you guys have any plans for this weekend at all?
Nothing.
Basketball, the playing games tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
I think there's a UFC fight tomorrow night that I'll be watching. We typically do those. I think Kermie is fighting tomorrow night. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's definitely a UFC fight and basketball. Yeah, basketball and the play-in and I want to see Devin Booker. I want Devin Booker to do a live feed of him watching it. I just want to see his. I feel so bad for him.
He is not
so
watching no damn basketball. There's
I feel
no
so bad
way.
for him.
Yeah,
I think he'll watch it. You wouldn't watch it? I would watch it.
Hell no. Oh no.
No.
I'm not watching basketball.
It is kind of like more self-revenge. But I think that he would watch it. I mean, how can you not when you know these people, you're in the same room as them. I feel like he'll be watching. But you guys, that actually leads me right into the first story because we're obviously talking about these play-in games. Well, the play-in game or games that could happen this weekend. So the Portland Trail Blazers and the Grizzlies will meet in the NBA's first ever play-in series for the final seed in the Western Conference. It's scheduled for this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. So if the Blazers win, they'll move into the playoffs to face off against the Lakers. If the Grizzlies win, they'll have to beat the Blazers again on Sunday to secure the final playoff spot in the West. So both teams definitely deserve this shot for the play-in for the playoffs. The Grizzlies secured that early win against the Bucks. The Nets and the Blazers have that super high-energy game, definitely one of the best since the NBA restart, and they won. And now they're going to be fighting for that final playoff spot. It's exciting. This is completely unique, totally unprecedented, and I know I'm going to be tuning in as well. But what we have to talk about right now is who we think is going to advance into the playoffs. So, Jackie, who are you betting on?
So I put a poll up on my Instagram and on the Fumble's Instagram and did a poll, and 84% of people think that it's going to be the Trailblazers doing it. I agree with that as well. This is a difficult situation for me, though, Devin. You should probably feel the same way as a Laker fan because I love Dame Dollar. I want him to succeed. Low key, if LeBron was still playing with the Cavs and they weren't in it right now, he would be the one that I'd be rooting for to the end. But LeBron is in the playoffs, and this look that Dame is doing right now, CJ too. The two of them last night were just amazing. So I don't know. I know. CJ, no. See, here's the thing. Here was the problem that I had with the Trailblazers last night was CJ looked great to me. Okay, maybe not great. He looked good, but the offensive rebounds that they weren't getting, you know what I mean? Like it was just like shoot, fall back, shoot, fall back.
Those kind of things where you could see where his back was kicking in, like the rebounding, a little bit on the defensive end, things that he's normally really good at. Those are when you saw the back kicking a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
And so that's why I don't want it. That's why I want to say he looks great, because he is playing with this. I would be trying to sit down somewhere right now. So that's why to me he looks great. So and I think that's just motivating the rest of the team. You're out here playing with a legit back injury and you're still looking damn good. Dame is playing out of his mind. So I don't know if I want my Lakers to face that. To be honest, I don't know.
I know. It is nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking. I agree with you completely. We've seen like this fierceness and this ferocity, especially out of Dame. And I want my Lakers to be taking home the finals win, but I'm sort of starting to feel a little bit, a little bit insecure, I guess, about their success. But I'm still maintaining hope, maintaining that optimism, trying to at least. Okay, Chris, who do you have going during that final playoff spot?
I'm trying so hard to try and find an argument for the Grizzlies, because they still, like, they're in the driver's seat because they just got to win one time, So, I mean, anything is possible. The Grizzlies were a very hot team before the league was suspended. They unfortunately haven't really found that in the bubble. They barely kept their seed by the skin of their teeth. So I'm not counting them out, especially with everybody's and Chuck and Shaq openly on national TV telling the world that they would have rather seen the Suns versus the Blazers. And he's not to the level of Damian Lillard, but we've learned in his one season that John Morant is a guy that takes things personal and uses any kind of motivation to go out there and have the kind of games that he's had. So I'm hoping we'll see some sort of battle between two angry point guards, but I'm going with the one that I know is going to be able to back up his word, and that's Damian Lillard, because he's been doing it. And obviously, I got a bit of a dog in the race, because my boy Carmelo Anthony, who has been playing out of his mind outside of that last game, but he's been playing out of his mind, 20-plus points in every game except for that game against the Nets. But Melo's been playing great. He's in shape. He's looking good. I'm always rooting for Melo, and I want him to get some revenge against the Lakers when they decide to sign Jared Dudley over him. I cannot wait to see Dudley.
Why you bringing up old stuff?
Because look, I'm sorry, it irritates the hell out of me when every time I see Jared Dudley on the court doing absolutely nothing. I'm like, imagine if the Lakers had Carmelo Anthony. Like, they're here talking about they can't find points. Like, I don't understand. So I'm going for Melo, Dame, and the Blazers.
So here's the other thing, though, Chris. Here's the other concern I have, because Rajon is back in the bubble, so I don't know. There's no timeline on it if he'll be playing, but to me, the chemistry with the Lakers has been kind of off anyway. I know that Rajon is a part of the normal crew, but he hasn't been in the bubble, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing if we can get him back in rotation, especially against Portland, and you haven't played with us the entire time in the bubble right now. I don't know how to feel about this. What do you think?
I think there's a short list of players that I don't think you ever really have to have that concern with. And Rajon Rondo, I think he's proven that he's one of those dudes, because he's played for so many teams. And he's had some stints like, he wasn't that great on the Kings, but he's one of those guys that, like, he can plug in and he'll be just fine. It'll be like he never left. And I especially playoff Rondo, especially with no fans in the stands. I think Rondo's going to be treating those courts like Rucker Park, and I think it's going to be it's going to be the help the Lakers need, because everyone's talking about the scoring. I think the Lakers' problem is they don't really have a point guard, and outside of LeBron James, like, they got Caruso trying to bring ball, nothing with Caruso. Yeah, so I think that Rondo's going to actually be able to plug right in, and I think it'll help you guys out, and he's going to give that edge where he might be able to, bark back with Damian Lillard. So I think he'll be able to plug right back in with no problem.
And to that point, to piggyback off of Chris, I feel like entering the bubble at a later date is actually advantageous, because I think for a lot of people, the bubble is actually creating this level of frustration, or like you kind of have more motivation, or it's distracting and it's kind of like mentally taxing, and you're not as focused, you're not as motivated. So I actually think that entering could end up, at a later date, not having that time to be in there for the last few weeks. It actually could be beneficial. I don't know. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
That's usually so fun if it happens. Oh man, I know y'all don't want it, but as just outside looking in, Blazers, Lakers, that's gonna be a fun first series. That's crazy.
I feel like we're gonna have to figure out a way for the Fumble crew to watch that game live to get, what I mean? Like, just that would be so dope.
Yeah, that series gonna be fun, man.
All right, you guys. Well, let's move on. Oh, and also for the record, I think the Blazers are going to be securing that final spot. So I'm with you guys.
We're unanimous on that.
Yeah, of course. I think pretty much everyone is. Let's get into the second need to know news story. So Bill Belichick said that NFL rookies are in, quote, deep and turbulent water as they prep for the 2020 season after off-season team activities were moved to a virtual format and the preseason was canceled because of COVID. He says that things are only going to get tougher for the newbies. The team brought on a 10-player draft class in April, as well as 15 undrafted free agents. And he said that he's already seen progress from incoming players, but that the next week to 10 days will determine how close each rookie is to making a true NFL impact. He said, quote, I think they're just trying to keep their heads above water and swim or paddle in the right direction, knowing that they're not really able to keep up, but they're doing the best they can. They're way, way ahead of where they could go 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. There's a lot of progress here, but a long way to go. So, Chris, with the preseason looking so different, how will this impact the rookie players and the contributions that they can make to the team?
I don't often agree with Belichick, but I agree with Belichick on this one. I think what he said, he hit the nail on the head, and I think we've talked about that a few times here on this live show. It's going to have a huge impact because the biggest takeaways you get from your newer players are in the preseason. The preseason is not for the veterans. That's for the players that are undrafted or drafted to show that, cool, my combine was great. Everything I did in college was great, but can I do that at the next level? And that's what the preseason is so important for those guys. And without that, it's going to be harder for these coaches to evaluate, and it's just going to be easier for them to stick with who they got or stick with practice players, even over some of these rookies, especially the undrafted ones. So I think it's very, very unfortunate for them, but that's just the way these coaches are going to try to win with whatever they can right now in the circumstances that they're given, and that's unfortunately what you got to do. Unless you're like a first 3-round draft pick, like I don't really see many of these rookies being too safe if they're not able to perform in a training camp, and even that might not even be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, Jackie, I want to ask you, do you see the prospects selected in later rounds earning a spot on the final roster, even though they've had limited opportunities to prove themselves, or how do you think that's going to work?
That's tough, you know what I mean? Because, this is an unprecedented time. Normally I would say, they can get in there, they can prove their worth, they can get those preseason games in, and we've literally seen people have like that final preseason game. They really didn't get much playing time before that. They get one standout opportunity in that final preseason game of the season, and then bam, earn a spot. You know what I mean? So this is a tough one because normally I would say, it's totally possible. We've seen this happen before. It'll definitely happen again, but I don't know. We said this before, and I'll have to say it again. I don't know. I don't envy at all the coaching staff on how they're going to have to make these cuts and the decisions they're going to have to make, because I honestly do not know how they're going to do it. I just don't, because what you see in practice is it's just that. It's still practice. And, game time is different, especially when you're facing another opponent, when you're people are in the stands, like all of that matters, you know what I mean? And so I don't know. I would love to say, I think, they can do it. It's going to be fine. You can do it, because I always try to be positive, for these people coming into the league, because I think if your heart and the effort and the work ethic is there, you have the opportunity, but literally you might not have the opportunity because half of the time that you could prove yourself is gone. So I don't know. I just flat out don't know.
No, I feel bad for these new players, for these younger players.
Yep.
This would be the worst time to enter the NFL. You don't have any opportunity to prove yourself. They're trying to operate on this new system very differently. I mean, it just sucks for them. I actually I feel for them deeply. Let's move on.
I was just going to go ahead, sorry.
No, Chris, go.
I was going to add, and it's also unfortunate on the other end, too, with them, because there's so many times that around this time of the season that we find out about players that we never knew about that end up being stars. So it's like it sucks on both sides, because there's potential stars that might not even make a squad because they didn't have the opportunity to prove. So it's just all around just sad, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's talk about a basketball rookie who we love here on the channel, Zion Williamson. So he is committed to doing everything that he needs to do to get better and be in better shape for next season. He said, quote, "I'll talk to my coaches and see what I need to do better from their point of view. I'll talk to my player development coaches as well. Just work on every part of my game and work on getting my body where it needs to be." So this is a hot topic. This has always been a hot topic with Zion Williamson. He's this powerhouse player, but right now he's listed at 285 pounds. He is a big guy, and a lot of people feel his weight and size have been detrimental to him as an athlete, but can also be really damaging to his longevity in the league. I think we talked about this last week about how he really needs to make some changes if he wants to be able to be healthy and not get injured. We've seen him suffer from a couple of injuries from when he was at Duke to his, missing the majority of his first season in the league. So he obviously, I hope that this is the wake-up call for him, that he really truly is trying to figure out what he needs to do to be better and to be stronger next season. But Jackie, I want to ask you, do you believe that Zion really is going to make the necessary changes to get his body where it needs to be?
That's a tough question, because I haven't seen him do enough work to believe that up until this point. We weren't talking about his weight at Duke. It's not like we were talking about his weight when he got drafted. It's not like we weren't talking about his weight the second he had this injury. So he's heard this time and time again, but yet he hasn't, done anything, in my opinion. He came back heavier. So, he in my opinion, and it's not even like, oh, we're not fat shaming him or anything like that, but this is legitimately something that if somebody, it's like, we talked about it before. It's like if somebody tells you, if you walked into the doctor's office and they tell you you're overweight, if you don't lose weight, you're going to die. And there's still people that eat ridiculous anyway, even when they hear that news. Zion has heard time and time again, if you don't lose weight, if you don't get this under control, it's going to negatively impact your career. And it should be common sense. All that weight on your knees is not good for anybody, So the fact that I haven't seen him put in the work up till now, I don't know. I don't know what working on his body looks like for him. So I can't really say I have an opinion on that until I actually see that he is actually putting in the work. Because he said this before. This is not the first time he said this. He said he's working with trainers and working on it, and he came back heavier. So I have to see what the work looks like for him before I believe that he's actually doing it. And I want Zion to succeed. I just haven't seen that he's not. He seems to have that, oh, I'm invincible, it's just baby weight. It's not baby weight. It's grown man weight. You need to lose it.
I feel the same way that you do, Jackie. But for me, I feel like, I guess if I were in his position, and I know that there are athletes who have been in this position before where they actually don't end up making the changes that they need to make. But for me, if I was a rookie basketball athlete, one of the most hyped up, NBA rookies, I would feel like, okay, I was out for most of the season because of an injury. People are constantly telling me that I need to lose weight, I need to change something.
Right.
For me, I feel that would be just like the major wake-up call. Do I want this career? Do I want to play pro basketball, or do I not? So I don't know. For me, it's kind of mind-blowing. But Chris, I want to ask you, where do you feel Zion's body needs to be to get him to be the prime player that we all expected him to be? What needs to happen?
Needs to be? That's a good question. I was having this conversation the other day, and I was saying if he did, maybe not to the same extent, but if he did something similar to what Kevin Love did, because I don't know if people remember, Kevin Love came into this league hefty, and he was still a beast. He was, easy 20-20 kind of guy, not like the year, 20 points, 20 boards, sports terms. But and he was doing all those things, and then randomly over summer he came back trim and in shape, and the Kevin Love that we all know today, and still able to do those things, but had a little bit more lift because he's not the most athletic guy. But then until the injury, but he was add a lot of those things to his game. So I feel like at 6'6", I think if he just simply loses, like Big Baby was saying, 20, 25, somewhere around there, start something like that, do the 260, see how that works out at 6'6". It's still gonna be a lot of weight, but I understand, the kind of player that you are, you might need the weight. I don't know. I think that all comes down to the people that are paid to know what makes the most sense for his body and for him to play that he wants to play, which is, like you just said, Devin, I don't understand how, you're not just another rookie. You are everybody is trying their best to give you the keys to the league. So I don't understand why you have not been, making those steps. Like you said, like you're hearing these things. You can phase us out all you want because you don't want to hear negative, blah blah blah. But at the same time, we're all only trying to give you constructive criticism. Take the note, do something about it, get the right people around you so you can be in a shape where you can be healthy throughout that career. So to answer that question, where he should be, I think it should be wherever he can continue to be healthy throughout his career, because he is 6'6" and he plays like he thinks that he's 6'10", but he has to be at a weight that can keep his knees going for the entirety of his career. So whatever the trainers and the nutritionists tell him that's what he should go down to. But he needs to make those steps to have those people. And like I've been calling him. I'm waiting for the Z squad to be formed, because I think that's what he needs. His own Z squad of nutritionists. You got his own trainers, all kinds of stuff. He needs to set up a Z squad so he can have a long-term career.
I have a quick question, Chris.
Oh yeah, go.
You said he thinks he might need the weight. Like, why would he think he needs the weight? And he clearly had an injury because of the weight. Why would that 100%. Be his mindset?
I still think he can still be. I don't think he should be like hefty, but I still think he can be 6'6" and still have weight. Like I know he's bigger, but I mean the same issues can come down to knees. But like a Jokic, even though he lost a lot of weight, he's been on record so many times saying that the weight helps him to be as strong as he is and be able to do the things that he does. And Jokic is a damn point guard at the center position, but he's 7 feet tall.
Right.
So for Zion to be 6'6" and to at least come down 25 pounds, he still is clocking in at 265. Probably bring it down to 250, which is LeBron James' weight at that point. But I still think at least then you still have that muscle. If it's predominantly muscle, I think it's something he can still be healthy with. And he could continue to be the force that he is in the paint, because that's one of the biggest features of his game. And, you don't want to lose all that weight and all that strength and then have to completely return it, flip his game around. And then that's a whole other issue within itself, talking about Markelle Fultz, Zion Williamson kind of thing. So, yeah, I think it's still important to have some of the weight on, but just not 285 at 6'6".
Mm-hmm. Muscle is heavier than fat, and I just don't see the muscle. Like, if he wants to stay heavy, he can do that, because since muscle is heavier than fat. But we're not seeing a lot of muscle development right now, and the muscle would help support it. It would help us support his knees as well. So I don't know, Zion, just get it together.
I think he'll figure it out, though. He's still it's still his first year. I'm still have hope in him, but it's like Devin and you said, like the fact that he's not making those steps now when everybody is talking about, everybody has your name in your mouth saying the same things. Like, it's just weird that he's not at least taking some sort of steps. That's a little worrisome, but I think he'll figure it out. I think he got it.
Do you guys remember there was that I can't remember who it was, but there was one NBA player who came out of quarantine significantly slimmer than when they went into it. Who was that?
Yes,
Melo.
Yes,
Melo and James Harden.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, James Harden was like, because we was like, is he sick? Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Zion needs to call them up and be like, "Yo, what are you eating? What's your workout routine look like?"
I'm saying, man. Right.
Yep. All right, you guys. Well, that wraps up Need to Know News. So, Chris, what's happening on Instagram and Twitter?
It is time for a post up with your boy Chris, quarantine and still clear edition. But yeah, we have some fun stuff going on in social media, and I'm so glad that we are talking about this, because seeing this battle between Shaq and Chuck every single time is hilarious to me. But yet again, it happened, and this has to be round 92 of the long battle between Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. And yes, guys, it's a conversation about what it takes to be a champion, where one person has championships and the other doesn't. And the person with championships proceeds to not let the one without championships talk. Yeah, we've seen this many times, but yet again, it happened again yesterday during that Blazers and Nets game when Shaq was giving his 2 cents on what he believes the Blazers need to do to go on and win that game, which they ultimately did. And he was saying that, kibosh the whole defense thing. Y'all need to be way better on offense so you can win this game and go on and win championships. And Charles Barkley had a little bit of a problem with that. So here's that video.
First of all, I speak from not being a great defensive player, but having championship experience. I know what the hell I'm talking about. The others got to step up, period. I don't give a damn what you're talking about.
Hey, listen.
Rob, hook me up, Rob.
Hey, listen, let me tell you
Hook
something.
me up, Rob.
They got
Big shot, Bob. I appreciate you. James Posey. Thanks for stepping up when I got double, triple teams.
Don't get Corbin Dwayne Wade carrying your fat ass.
I know what the hell you talking about.
Listen.
Oh my God, the disrespect is so real.
At least Chuck got his punch because Chuck was over there taking hits left and right, but he got his punch in at the very end, so at least Chuck got that. I don't know how to feel. Shaq is not wrong, but then to completely disregard the defensive side, which is what I believe, and I'm giving credit to Charles Barkley, which is what I believe Chuck was going to intervene and say. But and also, Shaq, don't disregard yourself as not. He said he's not one of the better defensive players in career. Maybe towards the end because you played so much damn basketball. Right. But nah, Shaq, you was all over those boards. Don't you disrespect yourself like that? Come on now. Anyways, moving on to this next one. Sticking with that same game, Joe Harris. We got a lot of hot mic moments in this post-up today, and this first one was hilarious. Now, we had Kawhi yesterday yelling for his foul. This one was a yell out of disbelief from Joe Harris. Now, the entire night, they were doing an okay job, at least in the first half, of every time Damian Lillard saw the ball, they were running at him like it was World War Z, like the zombies in World War Z, going after people, going over each other, trying to make sure he don't get nowhere. And they were doing an okay job. Dame was still hitting some really incredible shots. A lot like this one I'm about to show you, and Joe Harris let you know immediately how he felt about that shot. Here's the video.
They left a little bit on the table. Defensively, they're going to have to make an impact. God damn. The audience told you every NBA defender feels or says when guarding Dame. They left a little bit.
Yo, exactly like the announcer said. I guarantee you that is what is said by every player who has ever guarded Damian Lillard in the history of him being in the league. I'm sure that's what come out of every defender's mouth. But I love how I'm assuming that the mic was like near the corner because the minute he went over the corner, you heard it nice and clear. Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah, Joe Harris was upset. And it was good defense. It was actually good defense from Joe Harris for once. And Damian Lillard is just better offense. So maybe Shaq was right. Who knows? But like I said, a lot of hot mics today.
Oh, wait, you can't. Wait, Chris, you can't defend Dame. Dame took one dribble past the half court line and shot it. How you defend that? Charles, no. Shaq is wrong. He's wrong.
Oh, you're saying like, how do you defend that like physically? Oh, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
You can't defend that.
But here's the thing, and it's funny that you bring that up because right after that play had happened, Garrett Temple could not believe what he had saw. So he pulled aside his rookie point guard who had the task of being the primary defender on Damian Lillard at the time. And immediately after that half-court shot, there was a timeout called by Jacques Vaughn and the Nets, and Garrett Temple gave the rookie some advice, and it was pretty good advice.
Damian Lillard dribbling up, you guarding him. I don't care if that's C.J. McCollum. I don't care if that's Michael Jordan over there. You pick him up.
I got you.
No, I don't. He got. That's the ball right there. And Dame got it. He gonna shoot it from the NBA. Damian.
Yeah, as you saw, he definitely did shoot it from the NBA logo. So yeah, that's some advice. The thing is, I hope Garrett Temple told the other players in that five the same exact thing because you needed more than just your rookie to hopefully go and guard Damian Lillard. But yeah, that shot from the logo was. This whole no fans thing. Say what?
He did it with confidence. Like he didn't even. The look on his face was like, "Ooh, I hope it goes." It was like, "I got it."
Like it was light work. He shot that thing and ran off like he was in a layup line. Like it was that simple. Like it's insane. Damian Lillard is insane, and it's just a confidence. That's why I cannot wait for these playoffs because I feel like these no fans things we are getting we're getting scrimmage basketball. Like OD, because these guys are talking trash to themselves. They don't have to worry about somebody talking about their mama in the first. It's just y'all, just 10 people on the court, and you're just hearing a bunch of white noise, and they don't even hear that anyway. So I'm excited. This playoffs about to be so fun. If Damian Lillard taking shots like that just on the regular, oh yeah, it's about to be insane. But I don't know if you guys heard Jackie mention a Devin Booker meme earlier, but I have to show you guys it if you did not see it on Bleacher Report. But like Jackie, it happened immediately after the game just ended. Kevin Harlan didn't even have enough time to say the Blazers have won the game. He couldn't even say that before Bleacher Report put out this tweet. And basically Bleacher Report put Devin Booker's face over Yugi for my anime stands. If you were, back in the day, if you watched Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, I did, over this very dramatic scene of poor Devin Booker, and this is probably exactly how it went in real life. But here is that animation for those who didn't see it.
It should have been me, not him.
And why does it low-key look like him too? It kind of looks like him.
They did it. They did. That's not how he looks in the show.
Okay.
They went and made a whole animation. No, they did that.
That's dedication.
That is great. Right.
Yeah, no. They put a Photoshop over Yugi's face and everything for the. Oh, they went the full mile. They had that on deck. They were ready to go. They knew because, like I said, Kevin Harlan couldn't even announce the game, and it was up. Oh man, that is
all I saw was
hilarious.
I saw Dave's reaction to the thank God he missed it, and then I got a ding from Bleacher Report, and I was like, how the hell did this just happen?
Yeah, man.
Too fast.
Chris LeVert was dribbling up the court, and next thing you know, Bleacher Report posted something. I'm like, yo, the game's not even over. What do you guys know that I don't know? And then I saw that thing. Crazy. It was absolutely insane. But yeah, that was funny. Good call with that one. All right, so now we are going to talk about somebody who's not too popular on this show, but nonetheless, this was actually a kind of funny moment. But I need to know from you guys. I'm going to show you guys this clip, and I need to know who was in the wrong in this situation. But Michael Porter Jr. was out there minding his damn business. Well, riding his bike, but he was on his phone. But I mean, if you're by yourself and you can handle a bike, I think you can do it. It's not like driving a car. But nonetheless, cameraman pulled up on his boy MPJ, and they almost had an accident. And after I show you this video, I want to know who was at fault here. So here's a clip. For what reason? For what reason? I have so many questions about this. Like, he's trying to put it on Michael Porter Jr. by saying, don't text and drive. First of all, you pulled up on him on your phone, swerve right in front of him to try. You caused that. Like, that's 100% your fault. Like, I get it. Don't text and drive. I understand that. But don't also swerve into something. You ain't going to do that in the car. Like, hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. And, no, we're not doing that. Don't do that. Oh my God! So, are we in agreement that it's the cameraman's fault? Right.
Yes.
100%. Yes. 100%.
Like that's. I don't know. That was so funny to me. They had the nerve, like, like no.
He was the one who was aware. He was aware of the surroundings, so it was up to him to be cautious and to stay away. But instead, he's like,
we're right into it.
I went to UC Santa Barbara, and at UC Santa Barbara, everybody bikes to their classes, and this kind of thing would happen so often on the bike path. I got into so many different bike wrecks just trying to get to my classes because people weren't paying attention. They were trying to Snapchat their friends or whatever.
Got it.
So yeah.
Got it. I thought you were trying to say you had people just, kamikazing each other left and right over in California. I was like, wait a minute. Like, why is it just you're just sitting in the quad looking over and see a guy, I got you this time, and the two guys falling on the floor on their bikes. I don't know. No, yeah. Well, see, people, come on, man. Like, come on, ride your bike safely and don't be an idiot like that, dude. Like that is funny. It was hilarious. Glad it's on post up, but it's 100% your fault. Don't try to put down Michael Porter Jr. At least not this time. Moving on to oh my goodness. Oh man, this dude right here now. I don't know if my boys have seen this, but me and all my homies, we are hella competitive. Like it's not even funny when it comes to any kind of game. It can be from Monopoly to damn Uno. There's always a fight that breaks out, and not physical, but there's a lot of yelling, and it goes left and right. So one of our favorite games, well, it's not really heads up, but we play. What's the? Oh my God, that's tip of my tongue. Whatever, doesn't matter. Point of the matter is, Josh Hart. Okay, if you were hanging out with my homies, you would be the guy that if you were on our team, we put you out first so we know what kind of ground we got to make up after you go, because he was playing heads up with Taylor Rooks, and the clues he was giving for some very easy topics were really, really bad. Now, Jackie, brace yourself for this first one because it is LeBron related, and the way that he described it was very difficult. So here's the first one that he had with Taylor Rooks.
The chosen one.
LeBron.
Won finals out of 53 in 53 years.
Come on.
Wait, what?
One finals out of the last it's a state.
Are you kidding me?
Can I say it's a team? Yes. All right. It's a team that won 1 finals in the last
There
50
it
years. I didn't know if I could say it's a team.
I mean, Cleveland?
Yes.
That was your
Oh, God, he's fired. He is fired. Never playing with him, ever. That was terrible.
This is not taboo. This is not taboo. It doesn't say, there's no words that you cannot use, A, and B, if it's not in the name that you're sending, yes, you can say whatever you want. Be a team that, whatever. But yes, you could use the team. Like, it took him so long to get to the point that it was a team, because the things he was saying, I'm thinking it's a person too. I'm thinking LeBron James, but no. Oh my God, Josh Hart.
But you know what? He reminds me. We played heads up last week. I'm going to put him on the team that I'm kicking the friend of mine off that gave me the wrong clue, because the clue that I received was way worse. And I'm going to tell you the clue so you can laugh, and then all of a sudden this is going to seem good to you. So the clue that I received was, and here's the thing about heads up: when somebody doesn't get it, you don't keep saying the same clue over and over again, right?
Right, exactly.
So the clue that I received was, it's a band with letters in the name. So I said NWA, REM, AC/DC. No, letters in the name. Guess what it was DMX, which is not a band. It's a person.
That's not a... But he was one of those guys. He was one of those guys that said, it's a band with letters in the name. You're naming names. You're like, no, keep going. No, you keep giving me stuff. Like, I'm obviously not on the right track. Don't tell me to keep going. You keep giving me more clues. I hate those people. So that's what it sounds like. That's what this dude was. Like, okay, it's a band and it has letters in it. Go. No, not that. Right. No.
53
no,
years.
Keep going. No.
53 years. One title in 53 years. 53. Damn it! I hate people that do that.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Josh Hart going to the front of the line for me, because we need to know, like, all right, so we down by 18. All right, cool. Now we know what we need to do. Like, I need to know, because I don't want him at the end. And no. But anyways, it does get worse. It's not as bad as the Cavaliers one, but it's still bad, because this one, to me, it felt really easy, especially NBA player, maybe because you weren't a part of All-Star Weekend, but I felt like this was a pretty easy one to give away, but he still managed to struggle. Taylor Rooks did a good job, but it was not Josh Hart's fault that she managed to get this one. So here's the second one.
Ball dude, I don't know any of his songs. Light skin,
rapper?
Have a good voice.
LL Cool J?
No. He was in the movie with
Common.
Yes.
She's good. She's pulling shit.
That was all Taylor Rooks. She did that all by herself.
She pulled that out of thin air. She pulled that out of. I don't know any of his songs. He bald, he light skinned.
And then he stopped
talking.
That's all I got. No. You need to give me the clues. He just laid out one of the best intros to the All-Star game this year.
Right.
How did we already forget? It just happened. Like, even if you don't know his songs, he was just a part of All-Star Weekend. Oh man, that made me so mad. I was so triggered watching this whole thing. Josh Hart, you've been doing good on the court. Good job. You found your role, but man, I can't play heads up with you, my guy. I can't do it.
Ever.
I cannot do it.
Ever. Or spades, because you know he's gonna either renege or he's gonna tell. That I don't know if y'all know, but if you renege in spades, that's a full-on fight. So I'm not playing with Josh Hart.
That's not doing it. Fight and end of the game, because I'm done playing. I don't want to play again after that. I'm just like, you can for me. I'm good, bro. Let's go back to Uno. Anyways, last but not least, we ended off with a hilarious moment from a baby yesterday, and we are going to be ending with another one today. This one is this kid I'm about to show you has all the makings of a legend. This kid is. We talked about people just learning what a troll is. They still don't know how to figure it out. This kid right here, who has to be no more than 6, 7, maybe 8, 9 months old, somewhere in that line, somewhere in there. But he is a young kid, and he's already grasped the magic of being a troll. And watch how he trolls his mama while she was on the green practicing her swing. Watch how magical this kid handled the situation. Here's a clip.
You got this.
I love this. Laugh at her.
Oh my god!
Epic.
I love this video too. Oh my god.
That is fantastic.
He screamed. There was a little delay, but he screamed before she swung. There was a little bit of delay in that video, but in the original one, he screamed right before she swung, so she missed everything. And then when the camera goes over and he's laughing, oh my god, this kid is going to be a legend. So shout out to him.
Fantastic.
That is a legend in the making right there. And on that note, that's how I'm y'all off with post stuff.
All right, Chris. Thank you so much. Now, Jackie, it's time for you to tell us what we not gonna do. Yeah.
Me and Chris over here trying to lip sync. I think you did all right. I think we had it though. All right, guys. So what we're not going to do is kind of gloss over what we reacted to. If you guys didn't see the live yesterday, go back and take a look because Kima Siverin, I've seen him being called Sliverin a lot lately because people are making fun of him, but it's Siverin. He got kicked out. He's done. His Seahawks career is over because he tried to sneak in a girl, dressed her as a football player, which I still need to see this girl because I need to see how broad her shoulders are. I need to see if she could really fit in. Anyway, so I just want to kind of give you the backstory on this. So on April 25th, he posted this. If we could get that up there, Dave. He posted this to his IG. It's his college picture, his college football picture. Obviously, that's the Seahawks logo in the background. And the caption says, "Faith is real. The journey continues. Been waiting to prove my worth my whole life. Thank you, Seahawks, for this opportunity and believing in me." So clearly, he went undrafted. I don't know if you guys know that. He went undrafted. It was a journey for him. And then he finally gets his shot, and he's not even in training camp that long. So this whole thing is weird to me because of the journey that he had to go on to get to this point anyway. I've been all over his Instagram, his Twitter. He hasn't said a word since getting kicked out. He did retweet this tweet from Roddy Ricch on the 12th that said, "Got to count all blessings and learn from mistakes." But I don't know. This is more than a mistake to me. This is just flat out stupid. Maybe it's a little cocky even to think that you can get away with it. Not to mention pandemic. Hello, I don't understand how this happened. And all of those things have former NFL player and ESPN analyst Lou Riddick all in his feelings about the situation because he tweeted this. He said, "Rookie undrafted, 2K signing bonus, pandemic, and you think it's smart to try and sneak a woman into the team hotel wearing team-issued gear in training camp and jeopardize your career and maybe the health of yourself and your teammates. Peak 2020. Congrats," with the clown emoji. Y'all are take liberties with that clown emoji, but I just know that from personal experience. But so I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay. This isn't, Britt said it yesterday, this isn't the first time this has happened. He's just got caught and probably in one of the most hilarious ways. So, I don't know if it's worth, definitely make fun of him because it's funny. But, Chris, you could probably attest to this, probably your brothers could attest to this. Guys sneaking girls into situations is not a new thing, right? You guys probably try to sneak a girl into the house. You probably tried to sneak a girl into a situation where she wasn't supposed to be, knowing you was gonna get whooped if parents caught you. Oh, you playing the fifth? Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, that's probably smart. I didn't think that through. Get him off the camera, Dave. I didn't think that through at all. That wasn't smart at all. But I do have to agree with this user who said. He said, "Double standard, first or second round pick in the league is using this as a teachable moment," which I think that is definitely true. But he's not a first or second round pick, so I have to agree with this user who said sometimes when you're a long shot, you just have one shot. So I guess, and part of me feels really bad for him because I think he's done. I don't think he's ever going to get back in the league because he was undrafted, and now this is over his head. I just hope he's not wallowing in this and maybe does something else stupid. So now, Chris, here's a question you can answer. Do you think that this is something he can come back from and possibly continue his NFL career, or is he done?
And that's what had me so shocked yesterday in my reaction is everything you had started off with, because I remember seeing the report of them picking him up. I just so happen to know of him. I don't know him too well, as a player, but I know of him because of the list of cornerbacks, and I was looking at him for the Saints and blah, blah, blah. So he was one of the guys that came up. I was like, okay, he'd be cool to be picked up. Anyway, so I knew he was undrafted, And that's what threw me off. It's just like, yo, like of all the people to be doing anything stupid, someone who is undrafted, and I've said so many times, who is not going to get an opportunity to show themselves in any preseason game. It's not like you can get cut and then get possibly picked up by somebody else, and then you get to show off. You're not going to get the opportunity. So to answer your question, I'm not going to say I don't think he's done. But it's going to be some time before this blows over and another team is willing to give him a chance. I don't think it's going to be this season. I think maybe next season, and if hopefully everything is better, where we have proper training camps and some preseason games, maybe he'll have his opportunity then. Or hell, maybe XFL works out, maybe he goes over there and gets his opportunity there. So I'm not going to rule it out because he is a solid player. He got that 2K bonus was deserved because he was good at the college level. So we'll see. But it's going to be time because a mistake like that is idiotic. And for your story, it's just a lot of the coaches and a lot of front office are going to question your actual want to be good or want to play for a team and actually play in the NFL.
See, I don't know. I hope you're right because I would hate to see him lose his whole career just because of this one stupid thing. But at the same time, I think this is the absolute worst time to make this boneheaded move because now – like you said, there's no tape. We're not going to have any professional level tape on him. And now coaches are also going to have to figure out how they're going to figure out this next draft class because now we're in another situation with that. So they've got to figure that out. And then they got to worry about you too. This is the worst time to do it. I hope he figures it out. I still need to see the video because unless she's 6'3" with broad shoulders, I need to know how he thought this was going to work.
We need to find it. We need to find it. Come on, Seahawks. Let us see it.
I need the video. All right, so let's move on, Chris. I know I'm going to have to talk to you about this again, but let me just get it out first because what we're not going to do is keep seeing stuff in Lonzo Ball that simply is not there. I was waiting for a reaction from Chris. I didn't get it. So let's break this down. All right, so his rookie season with the Lakers, Lonzo was averaging 10.2 points, 6.9 boards, 7.2 assists. Not horrible, but it was not the rookie of all time kind of stats you expected, right? Then his sophomore year, he dropped down to 9.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5.4 assists. And then he goes to the Pelicans, and his numbers go back up to their rookie levels, right? So now he's at 11.8 points, 6.1 boards, and 7 assists. So again, the rookie numbers are kind of the status quo for him right now. He hasn't gotten much better. He dropped, and then he kind of went back up. So I think obviously we still need more evidence that Lonzo is who y'all think he is. But now, the Athletics' David Aldridge says, quote, people down in Orlando tell me Lonzo Ball looked like he checked out the whole time the Pels were there and that he expected some significant roster adjustments in New Orleans before next season. Checked out how? Because his stats was pretty consistent with what he was doing. He doesn't name his source, but I would guess, because I know we talked about this as well, I would guess it was probably the person that was sitting next to Lonzo when Bleacher Report posted this tweet, and then Lonzo responded to it. They posted the tweet with his kind of in very low stats, but this is the same guy who will put up goose eggs in a game. So I don't know why we're mad about these 5.6 points, 5.3 rebounds.
Slander that is happening right now.
And you see how long it took me to get a reaction out of Chris? That was a lot longer than I thought it would. But
I'm sitting here just anyway. your moment.
But he did tweet, post his good stats next season. You can put Chris back on there. This is all for him now anyway. But I don't think Lonzo checked out. I thought he was just being Lonzo. What kind of adjustments can we see? Because this is Lonzo being Lonzo. Do we need adjustments or should we just accept that either he did say on his tweet, he said the marathon continues, which lets me know that he knows it's going to be a long time before he ever lives up to his hype. So I said it. But what you got to say about it, Chris? And this is me not being anti-Lonzo right now.
So I'm not going to play the Lonzo ball game because I'm going to need more time if we play the Lonzo ball game. Because I can name a lot of point guards with similar statistics that were able to come out the mud. I'm not worried about Lonzo Ball. That's I know. So we're gonna talk about what you had the whole checking out thing. Jackie, here's the thing. I got 2 examples for you. One, you find out that your key player is only playing sporadic minutes because his stamina is low. But you expect me to go out there and still be like, all right, we got a chance to hopefully do something in the playoffs. We're not going to get in the playoffs and be embarrassed in the first round of the Lakers. That's not going to happen. 2 things. Okay, we're talking about Lonzo Ball because this is Lonzo Ball that everybody loves to throw shade on. Lonzo Ball. Jackie, I got 15 players for a whole organization that were in that same bubble looking just as mediocre for 8 full games. 7 full games. They played all right in the last game. They got the win against the Celtics. They are the Washington Wizards. There were tons of players that were checked out in a situation like this. I still think this is BS. I think this is something that, it's just any little story that you want to talk about Lonzo Ball, it's going to get caught up. So, even if he was checked out, not good look. I've completely come out. I said what I had to say about him in the bubble. It was not good. He did not look good compared to how he looked before the season terminated, because the last 5 games I mentioned then, before the season went in, he was up at 20.7 points per game, 8 assists and 6 boards. 5 games with Zion, with Brandon Ingram. They were hot. Now, mind you, what have you done for me lately? He didn't do anything for us in the bubble. So you'll let you have this moment. But as far as the checking out thing, I think that is just something. Lonzo Ball is one of those guys where you say anything followed by Lonzo Ball and it will stick and people are going to talk about it. There are tons of players that are not that have not been engaged in the bubble right now. One of which are playing for your Lakers right now too. Tons of players. We had a whole team in Washington. We got probably 1-2 players per team that are checked in. There's a lot of guys that openly admit that they didn't even want to be playing in the bubble because of everything going on, socially, so they don't feel involved. Who one of those people is? Drew Holiday was one that said something. Who's one of them? Who's one of them? Who's one of them?
Damian Lillard initially said he did not want to go into the bubble, and what has he done? I'm just checking.
He went off because Damian Lillard also has a chance to get his team in the playoffs and actually do something in the playoffs, unlike Lonzo and those lowly Pelicans. Now, look, you're right. You're not wrong. I'm going to give you the slander. I'm going to let you have your slander today because Lonzo was not great in the bubble. So you can have that. But I will not let you just gloss over the fact like he is not progressing each and every year. Lonzo was
5 good games.
I'm done. 5. I'm so done.
5.
He had 5 good games. Those were his 5 last games. I'm done. We're gonna have this. Look, I'm gonna be like Lonzo on this one. I want you to have those same statistics this time when we talking about it next season. Okay, go ahead. Hashtag TMC. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm with you, bro.
5 game Lonzo, like the Subway commercial. 5.
The shade. LeVar, I tried.
I was living for this moment when we could have this Lonzo. Yes, I can go into the weekend happy because you over there with your. I love when you do the whole. I can't take it. I love it. That's all I got. Ear to ear, baby. You see the smile?
Whatever.
I was smiling too. I was watching it all unfold right before my eyes.
So glad, Devin. Glad you're enjoying this.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I tried so hard.
Jackie, you crushed it. So once again, we're making fun of Chris and not me for not seeing movies. So Chris is mad. Okay.
I'm
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, wear a mask, wash your hands, and tune in to those play-in games or the play-in game that we're going to be seeing this weekend. And we'll also have social media coverage throughout the weekend. So tune into the Fumble on Instagram. It's at the Fumble Sports. And we will see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Ooh, yeah. Got him. That was great.